When it comes to dryland training, I often hear people say, well, I don't have access to a fancy gym, or I don't have a whole lot of equipment to work with, so I can't really complete dryland training, right? And the answer is no. You can actually complete amazing dryland training with just your body weight and minimal resource. So today we're going to look at 5 exercises you can utilize to build out your own dryland training with just your body weight. I want you to complete 3 rounds of these exercises, and we'll talk about repetitions for each one as we get there. I'm going to focus on categories of squat, hinge, push, pull, and brace as the main categories for these movements. By focusing on those categories, you're able to get a well-rounded approach to your dryland and help your performance in the water. Starting out, we're going to start with that brace component because it helps warm your body up for the rest of the movements as well. So, all you need to do is start in a plank position. You can either go hands or forearm position for this movement. Biggest key is that your elbows in either scenario are stacked right under those shoulders, and you're mimicking that head position in the water. Avoid arching your low back. We want to keep that low back nice and stable. Squeeze those glutes for me to really activate that low back area as well and stabilize that low back area with the glute squeeze. And then we're going to complete a plank with a leg lift. So you're just lifting one leg off the ground, bringing it back down nice and controlled. You're going to complete 12 repetitions on each side. And as you lift the leg, you're trying to avoid any sort of rotation out to the side. So you're just lifting, control, keeping those hips pointed evenly to the floor. Again, 12 repetitions on each side. We're working in a little component of anti-rotation there. You're getting that core turned on. By squeezing the glutes, you're activating that back side of the body as well and getting that strong core position to help control your body positioning in the water. Moving on, exercise number 2 is called a single arm Cuban press and pull. So shoulders, right? Shoulders are important to swimming. They take a lot of a beating with all that pulling in the water, all that repetition, if they're not strong and ready to handle that load. You can utilize this exercise to dive into those shoulder muscles and help strengthen that area while also enhancing range of motion. One arm's going to go out to the side. You're going to try to stack that elbow in line with the shoulder again. So it's a single arm Cuban press and pull. Then what you're going to do from here, so I want you to think nice strong core engagement, set that core positioning, pivot that arm up, press overhead so the arm is in line with ear, and now here's the pulling motion. Drive that elbow down, allow that shoulder blade to move, pivot back down, and release. So again, you're driving up, pivot around, press that arm overhead, really reaching nice and tall, arm in line with ear. Now think about driving that shoulder blade down, pulling that elbow back down, pivot, and release. I want you to go for 6 repetitions on each side. We'll go one more here. I like to have my hand on my stomach just so I can feel my core engaging. Driving up, pivot around, big reach, back down, pivot around, and release. You'll feel your shoulder blade starting to move through all that different range of motion depending on where your arm positioning is. The key is to not keep that shoulder blade completely still and allow it to glide as you're completing the different arm positions. After 6 repetitions of that, we're going to start to ramp it up a little bit more. So we have a push-up with a T reach. So you can start here, just like we did that plank position early on. Hands stacked right under the shoulders, not trying to arch the low back. Keep that low back nice and stable. Now I want you to lower, slow and controlled, all the way down to the floor. And then send those arms out into a T position, bringing back in. And now here's the big key. I don't want you to just lift up like this. I want you to think about strong core engagement, squeeze those glutes, press back up. So again, lowering down, hit the bottom position, arms out into the T, back in, engage everything, boom, back up to the top. If you need to, you can modify this one. You can lower down controlled, arms go out wide, keep the knees down, bring the arms back in, press up, stand up all the way. Okay? I want you to complete 12 repetitions of that movement as well. Really focusing on body positioning, getting that press strength, helping strengthen the shoulders as well, and just build really strong core and upper body strength with that movement. We're going to transition to a more standing position here. So the next one is an alternating single leg RDL. We want to focus on your hamstrings. So when you hear RDL or Romanian deadlift, we're focusing on hamstring strength and also hamstring length. All you're going to do here is start with one foot pointed straight ahead. Eyes are just looking down at the ground. Pick a spot on the ground that's not moving. Helps you balance. Then hinge forward as far as you can with control. Come back in. Hinge forward as far as you can with control. Coming back in. You're just alternating legs for 6 reps on each side. Nice steady hinge. Really control the movement here. When I say control, I'm looking for that knee to be nice and stable. So trying to avoid all that wobble. The hinge itself, I want you to think about driving hip back versus bending at the knee. So one more time on this one side. Hinging, you see that hip drifts back. The hamstring starts to stretch. And then we're coming back in, nice controlled. That's going to help that kick, building that kick strength and keeping that elasticity in the hamstrings. Again, 6 repetitions on each side, probably going a little bit slower with that one as well. Final one of the day here, want to build that leg strength a little bit more to help power that kick. So you can use a door frame, or if you have access to a squat rack, you can use this. Door frame works just fine. Then you're in a single leg position. You're using your hands here for a little bit of support, lowering down into this assisted single leg squat and driving back up. Lowering down, nice controlled single leg squat, assisted single leg squat here, driving back up, controlled. I want you to complete 12 repetitions on each side, focusing on keeping that knee nice and stable as you lower down, and really driving through that glute on the way back up. Again, lower down controlled, arms are there for a little bit of support, and power back up. You can help build that strength with these Dryland exercises that are all body weight. The only support I needed was a door frame, or in this case, I used a squat rack, and you can build this really nice, strong body to help you with your endeavors in the water by just using your body weight.